Peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters. This is your boy AC coming to you live from the belly of the beast. I just want to do a check-in all call to all my people out there that may be enduring or going through some things, because the feeling is definitely the same for the brothers and sisters that be incarcerated. I wanted to share that last month we had about 5 to 6 suicide attempts, and 3 of those attempts were successful. The importance of understanding what that means is that there are people in here that are struggling. There are people in here that have a loss of hope. There are people in here that are going through some things that they're too afraid to share with others. You see, inside of these institutions, they have a set protocol for individuals that might be having suicidal thoughts, or an individual that might be suffering from chronic depression. And they tend to treat these very uncivilized for people that bring these matters to the forefront. If I were to go and express how I was feeling or these thoughts that I was having, I'd be placed in a segregation. Now, to clarify what segregation is, for people that don't know, segregation is an isolated place that you go. Some may know it as the shoe, some may refer to as the hole, some may refer to it as intensive lockup. But in this part of the facility, you're placed into a cell by yourself, and then you're just observed over every hour to ensure that you haven't harmed yourself or anything like that. And then those that get put on what is called a suicide watch, you're pretty much just stared at through a window by an officer that is supposed to be there to ensure that you don't hurt or harm yourself. You see, these tactics are very ineffective because all they do is add to the mental stress of an individual. All they do is they add another sense of depression because they're once again isolated from everybody else. And I feel the exact opposite. When somebody is feeling they're isolated or depressed, they need to be around people. They need to be around people that love them. They need to be around people that care, and genuine people that want to know that they are doing well. And so the lack of care that goes into treating these individuals in here is appalling to me. Brothers don't want to go and express how they're feeling because they don't want to be stripped away from their living environment, where they have amenities that they're allowed to have while being incarcerated, whatever that may be. When you're put into these segregations, your tablet, which is now your source for emails, which is now your source of phone calls, which is now your source of any type of media outlet, music, shows, movies, things of these natures, these are all taken away. And you're put on this island where you have to suffer through whatever it is that you're going through. And their solution for you to be able to have all the help that you need is handing out Sudoku puzzles or giving you crayons to color in pictures. These are adult men, and I'm sure the adult women in the women's facilities don't appreciate this such influence. The people that we have here for mental health care, I don't know them all. I know a few, and I know there are a few that really care. But yeah, for instance, over in our facility, in our side of the facility, we have 2 mental health people for 500 people. How is that supposed to be something that is very conducive to the health of the individuals that are in these units? Now, I understand it might be difficult for DOC to be able to find or provide more mental health care. But last month was appalling. And just to say, it was disgusting for the reaction of afterwards. After the first attempt, there's a person that, if you excuse me for this being too graphic for anybody, so please be warned. The first attempt was somebody that tried to dive off of the top tier. It was a 3-story tier that tried to jump off it, successfully did, and crashed into the tier floor below. Speaking with the officers that were there and witnessed it, they said it was a traumatic thing, the most gruesome thing they've ever seen in their life. Following that incident, there was nothing done about the railings. There was no safeguards put up. There was nothing that was there to prevent anybody else from doing it again. So later that week, another individual jumped to their fate as well. And it's these scenarios where you see the lack of urgency or concern to fix the issue before it happens again. Why does it take 2 people in order for them to realize that this was a safety hazard? Why did it take two people before they went around and asked everybody else if they're okay or if they need anybody to talk to? You see, mental health is an important part of our stability. You know, the community, you have access to different types of counselors, therapists, and things of that nature. But in here, we have to send a kite and wait for a response. Well, they now started putting mental health providers in the units. But in our unit, I don't see any office that provides a mental health officer. In Victor unit, which is our sister unit, they have one in the unit. And so sometimes getting a hold of these people can be few and far between and very difficult. Why? Once again, because there's only two of them for 500 inmates for this side of the facility. Mind you, this is a facility that houses about 2,000 people. And so what we're doing is we're taking matters into our own hands. I'm a part of an organization called the BPC, which is the Black Prisoners Caucus. And we are developing a mental health committee. And in this mental health committee, we're doing an all call to any professional provider, psychological provider, that is willing and wanting to come and subsidize and reduce the amount of mental health issues that we're having here by just talking with some individuals or offering them a place for an outlet. Now, we understand that there are policies and things that or certain activities being able to be given outside of what they decide. But we're currently working on those policies and trying to get some things changed because no one knows us better than ourselves. No one knows the people that we live with on a day-to-day basis better than the people that live here. And so what we'd like to do is we'd like to extend an invite to anybody that has either suffered or anybody that has known or anybody that has even attempted, unsuccessfully though, and we're gracious for that unsuccessfulness. They would like to come in and share their stories. They would like to come in and be able to talk with the brothers in here, to be able to get them to know that there are people outside that are struggling with the same things, and give them your coping mechanisms. Give them the ways that you've been able to handle depression and how you've been able to overcome some of the darkest moments in your life. You see, if we don't take matters into our own hands, I fear that this issue of lack of care of mental health is only going to get worse. And more people are going to be injured when in reality, all they needed was somebody to be able to talk to, or all they needed was somebody to just listen. And so, as part of the BPC, it's our responsibility to be able to ensure the safety of the people that we live with. And so, if you'd like to reach out, if you are interested, please contact me at securetechnologies.com. My name is Anthony Covert. My DOC number is 335-988. And send a message and let me know that you're interested, and we'll get you in contact with our BPC sponsors. That way you'll be able to come in and we'll be able to set up a meeting and see what we can do to tackle this issue. We see it every day in here. Guys that are solo, guys that are lost, people that lose family members, people that aren't sure about how they're going to deal with their time. These are all major factors into somebody's mental health. You know, there's a lot of things that people endure that they aren't available to share on the outside in fear of being placed in a segregation. But we're offering a safe space where people won't have to worry about being placed in segregation, where people can come and be able to share what is on their heart and have an opportunity to get out what it is that is going on the inside. And so if you feel that this work is important, please contact me, and we'll get you in contact with our sponsors for the BPC, and we'll be able to help these brothers get the help that they need. Thank you for your time and for your consideration. Peace.